Rangers has been gracing the TV screens for over 30 years, but this is the first time since 2010 that we do not have a show, and this is probably the first time ever that there is no consistent toy line this year. Even in 2010, there was a Bandai Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toy line with figures and Megazords, roleplay, all that fun stuff. They pretty much put the Lightning collection on hiatus, on halt. We know there's a reboot, but that's not probably coming till 2026 if you really dig into that. But how did we get here? That is what we're going to talk about. How did we go from having a show almost every single year, and even the year that we had a year off, there was still toys, and they were showing a repurposed version of Mighty Morphin on TV, so they were still pushing Power Rangers in some way. This is the first year as a fan that there is no footprint. How did we get here? We're going to talk about it, break it down. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the Fan Club.
You're watching the Fan Club.
And you're watching the Fan Club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the Fan Club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher, when it morphed, I made a fake one.
To predict the future, we must understand the past. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about everything that led up to this point. Why are we in this situation? Why is Power Rangers in a hiatus? We're going to talk about everything. But first of all, welcome to the show. It's your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. Shout out all the fans that take the time out of their day to watch this content. Couldn't do it without you guys. This is one of those videos where we're going to talk about some of Hasbro's problems, some of Power Rangers problems, but no, we are like unofficial ambassadors to this brand. We love this brand. We want to see it grow and get bigger and bigger with the times, but we have to kind of be realistic and ask ourselves, how did we get into this situation? We might have like 2 years with no Power Rangers. How do we go from Rangers all the time to a chance we're going to have 24 months with no Power Rangers? So let's talk about it, break it down. The Power Rangers franchise has faced a notable halt in production following Hasbro's acquisition of the brand. Despite the initial stabilization of the brand with successful seasons like Beast Morphers and Dino Fury, the franchise has since slowed down. The launch of the Power Rangers reboot was significantly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, the writer and actor strike, and the post-pandemic landscape has brought new challenges. Changes in media production, rising toy costs, and the passing of Brian Goldner have all contributed to the current hiatus. Brian Goldner was the one that believed in Power Rangers and was the reason why Hasbro acquired the brand a few years ago. He passed away and Chris Cox took over, and I've compared this to like being drafted by a football team or basketball team, and the coach and general manager believe in you, and then they get fired, they move on, and now you have a new general manager, new coach that might not have you in their grand scheme of things. They might be trying to trade you, get rid of you, because they don't believe in you like the last guy did. That is how I feel about this situation. It doesn't also help that E1 was sold to Lionsgate. Now, even though Power Rangers still has the franchise, they didn't sell it by any means. It only probably made things worse that in the middle of all of these issues, the entertainment company is kind of moving ways. But from what I hear, a lot of the people still working on this are contractually still gonna be there, even if they're part of Lionsgate now, at least what we're hearing at the moment. And the thing that we don't talk about enough is inflation is a MFer right now. Everything is more expensive, meaning that the production costs are going to be more, meaning they're gonna have to charge us more for these figures. And tell you the truth, man, I always like some of these figures when they're 15, 20 bucks a piece, but now that the Lightning collection is 30 bucks a figure, I really stopped caring about it because I don't have like hundreds of dollars every time a wave comes out to jump on. It kind of gets ridiculous, but it's not Hasbro's fault. Everything is getting expensive, so they're trying to figure that out. But if it's so expensive, people are not going to buy it. Additionally, the fandom's mixed reactions to changes and inconsistent support for merchandise have also played a role. Yeah, the quality control for the Lightning Collection never seemed to get better. It almost seemed to get worse as time went on. I remember when the Lightning Collection first came out and there were issues, there were paint issues, there were heads falling off, but it seemed like as time went on, there was way more issues. And some issues were getting fixed, but then they were running into other issues. And then for a few years, they got rid of the plastic boxes so you could no longer see the figure. I think that alone is going to increase your quality control problems because you can no longer see that toy in the box looking at it. Sometimes you might be able to look at one and realize the head's broken off and take it back, or don't put that in a shipment, right? Now you no longer know. It's pretty crazy. So I hear they're going to be going back to the old packaging. Even though they were saving trees, they were like saving the environment, they were also costing themselves a lot of money because they weren't able to see what they were selling people. And some of these toys were all busted. And if you could have just looked at it through a clear plastic lens, we would have known, man. A hiatus and hard reboot are seen as potential solutions to revitalize the brand. The lack of shows and toys on shelves has been particularly evident in 2024, leading fans to speculate about the future of the franchise. Hasbro's sale of E1 to Lionsgate has further complicated the reboot project, which was initially announced in 2020 and is now expected to debut in 2026. But who really knows, man? When it comes to that project, we know it's still in development, but we also know that Jonathan Entwistle's working on the Karate Kid. If that is the first priority, we might not even be able to shoot this till 2025. That means 2026. Now, how exactly did we get into this situation? I believe that when Power Rangers was acquired from Saban, Hasbro had to stabilize the brand, and I believe they did do a very good job with that. I think something that hurt them was, one, Brian Goldner passing away. You can't really say anything that wasn't like anything Hasbro did wrong. They just brought somebody else in that didn't really have the same ideas or mind as Brian Goldner, meaning that this guy coming in is kind of moving a bunch of things around. And I mean, hindsight's 2020, but they are in a lot of debt. They lost over $1 billion. There's something to be said about that. Is when Hasbro had Brian Goldner running the show, he was doing a lot of brilliant, smart business moves, and he had a vision for Power Rangers. Him passing away and not having the captain driving the ship really did prevent Power Rangers' future. That is not the only big thing. I think another thing that hurt this brand was your COVID-19. You had roadblock after roadblock because we announced it in 2020 and it just seemed like we could never get this off of the ground. We also then got hit with an actors writer strike when it seems like things were starting to actually kick up. Cosmic Fury was about done, and here we go, writer strike. Oh man, makes you sick to your stomach, but we are going to have a year or two off from Power Rangers. What is the answer right now? I think the answer is to figure out our problems, identify the problems, fix the problems, listen to the fans, and then sell them a product that they want. And that comes to shows, that comes to toys. The Master Morpher proved that if you actually have a good product, people will buy it. If you listen to the fans, and in this case, they listened to JDF, but JDF listened to the fans. He saw what the fans wanted, and they delivered. They gave it to him, and that thing sold out super quick. So I believe at some point, these between Hasbro, Saban, I don't know, they stopped listening to the fans, started doing their own thing, which Hasbro made some good decisions. They did stabilize the brand. And I think that Hasbro gets a lot more flack than they deserve, but there's also a point where they were hit with roadblocks, but there was something behind the scenes that was canceled too, because what was it? Last year they had to write off Power Rangers as a negative year, but according to all the sales and productions and everything, it was a good year. Meaning that something got canceled behind the scenes. They decided to make a self-inflicted wound on themselves. I can't remember if this last year, 2022, but it was weird, man. They weren't in the green. Now they're taking a year off. So this is really weird, but I'm hoping we can come back stronger than ever. I think that Saban really did put this brand into a bad situation. He left it for dead. Hasbro did revitalize it, and they stabilized it, if you will. Now it's kind of just sitting in limbo, but that is why we're in this situation. Roadblocks like the strikes, pandemic, the sale of E1 to Lionsgate didn't totally affect things, but I doubt it helped with the speed process. Then you also have so many other things in the way that it's gonna push back this project, but the fans are still here, man. It's just how long will the fans wait, and will they show back up if they give them something good? I believe we will, but what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Shout out all of the fans out there that take the time out of their day to watch this content. You are the real MVPs and the reason why we can continue to make videos like this one. Thank y'all again, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I just want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members out there. The Arctic Operator, Roderick Ham, Papleon Purple, Salima Ramirez, Danny Nascimento, Stephen Heffelman, Chaos Draco, Thomas Franco, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, Miguel Ortiz, and Sean Schiffer. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today.
I just want to shout out all of the fans out there for taking the time out of their day to watch this content. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you can, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that share button. And if you guys want to be a member, click that join button right now. We have a Blue Ranger membership that gets you into the exclusive fan chat Discord. Then we have the Gold Ranger membership. It gets you into the fan chat, but you also get a video shout out at the end of every video. I want to thank you guys again. If you can, sign up to be a member. We will see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.